We're looking ahead to the fall, and there's a couple of fights coming up between the president and not all the Republicans on the Hill. The White House is increasingly leaning on John McCain and other Senate Republicans who become increasingly frustrated and increasingly willing to speak out about that frustration with their counterparts in the House. But we're certainly seeing a very different John McCain than the one we saw in the wake of the election. One of the things to keep in mind is the White House has said that this time around we're not dealing on the debt ceiling. And so you have a lot of Republicans who are saying we're going to hold the line.
Where's the president's plan? When's he going to lay his cards on the table? This debt limit increase is his problem.
We have a wish list. Why don't you take your pick of items on this list that you're willing to give up in exchange to raise the debt ceiling? And the White House has said, we're not going to talk about it this time. The debt ceiling has to be raised and you're not getting anything in return. Part of it is a function of the experience last time. It's, once burned, twice shy. Part of it is it's the second term. Just kind of a function of been through this experience before, we know how this game is played, and we're very wary of setting a precedent and making this a regular occurrence. On the campaign trail, we heard the president say a lot, if I'm reelected, the fever will break and Republicans will realize that I'm here and they have to work with me. As our reporters have been told by the president's advisors, those closest to him, he never really believed that. His feeling was 4 more years of the same old, that's not going to cut it as an aspirational message. Even before the election and immediately after Election Day, were laying down plans for how they could get the agenda that they wanted to get through without Congress on board, because they knew that probably wasn't going to happen. They weren't going to have a Democratic House. They were going to have possibly a smaller margin in the Senate. They knew even before Election Day. We've seen the president ready to move ahead on his own on a number of issues. We've also seen a bolder president, in his remarks on race.
Trayvon Martin could have been me 35 years ago.
He actually came out and went further than his aides expected him to. We were told there were cheers behind closed doors in the Oval Office. We're seeing him push a little bit harder. We're seeing him take a sharper tone, and clearly we're seeing with his economic speech a willingness to be a lot tougher when it comes to dealing with the opposing party.